don't think I've ever had one of these before.
I'm sure that you have.
Well, no one's shown me. It's going to someone else's address. All right.
What's up, InStyle?
What's up, InStyle?
We're here to open some fan mail.
Fan mail.
Fan mail. Okay. I know what Penelope did to Eloise was bad.
Yep.
But she did it to save her, and I love their friendship. Will they reconcile? From user Life is Cool 10.
That's a
YouTube.
cute name. I would tend to agree, Life is Cruel 10. It was horribly misguided. You shouldn't be a person that never tells anybody anything ever, because then you make it all up in your head and then you go, but I thought that was a good idea to kind of ruin your life to the Queen. No?
Sometimes things can get a bit too terrifying where you go, the ball is rolling so far away from me now. I can't catch it. Penelope's fans, don't lose hope. It might be a bit of an uphill battle before we're completely back in the daffodils.
Oh, back in the daffodils. I love that.
That would be the name of our album.
Yeah.
AA, always first into the dentist, first into exams. Here we are. Who do we think is going to be the diamond of the season? I feel like it could be a random debutante, but also I feel like maybe Francesca will be the diamond.
Do you?
Do you now?
She definitely is an interesting candidate.
She is.
For
Very
the diamond or the sparkler.
Who knows that the Queen's even going to pick a diamond? It's something that a lot of people are competing for now, and it's something that a lot of mamas are also competing for, and people are being trained to impress the Queen. They were anyway, but it really has become a bit of a sport. Francesca doesn't seem like the type of character who would want to compete in that sport.
Brother, I should like a moment alone.
Could be Cresta.
I think it will be Cressida.
I wonder if instead of picking a diamond at all, Queen Charlotte will take the Danbury role of matchmaker.
Yeah.
Perhaps she will take on the challenge of getting a wallflower married.
Oh, no.
Lot of things to pick out here, Amber Brainwaves. So, first of all, you put me in competition with my mate.
Don't put us in competition.
You also do matchmake.
She does matchmake.
Well, this was my next thought. Thank you, Ruth, for that. And I wonder what show you've been watching.
Harsh.
Because I've been there.
Yeah.
Have I not been there?
Yeah, you've been there.
I've been there.
All right, let's see what we got here. Nicola, your positive energy is infectious. That's very sweet. By the way, what do you mean you and Luke got to coordinate your spicy scenes? This is from Myrtle McGovern on YouTube. Intimacy coordinators. I think there's quite a lot of mystique around who they are and what they do and what their purpose is. And I actually had some of that myself. I was like, is it like a dance routine where they're like, you kiss for 3 seconds and then you touch their hand and then it's not like that in so much as creating a framework in which you feel very safe, very respected and very open to do what needs to be done for the characters. So the scene as is written, but then Luke and I we entirely chose what we wanted to show, didn't want to show. It was really empowering. It's so weird because it's before we filmed, you're gonna make me cry. Before we filmed this season, I felt very scared to do those scenes. And then they ended up being some of my favorite things to film and they were wonderful. So that's what I mean by that.
Go on, Coughlan. Smashing it, one job at a time.
Of course.
Now on to my nudity scenes. When are you... Who do we think Eloise befriends this season? From user Capital Professional 2 on Reddit. Cressida Cowper.
People, I haven't seen much of the response to the trailer, but what I have seen is they're just fuming.
Are they fuming?
Fuming. Yeah, they're like, what is Eloise doing? And I'm like, girl, I know.
Oh, no.
And it's funny because I always feel the need to say that, but Jessica Madsen is a lovely,
she's
sweet,
a very, very beautiful,
gorgeous person.
Very
Cressida, however.
Yeah.
What has been Cressida's issue? She's been on Penelope's ass since day one. She doesn't even know Penelope's writing that stuff about her, so she just has an issue with her for no reason.
Eloise Bridgerton. The diamond. Perhaps now you might stop spending time with insipid wallflowers all evening and refine your circle of friends. I may have no...
I would rather die.
She definitely hasn't made her life easy. Listen, Cressa's going to take down who she takes down when she can. You know, there's so many times that we see a character in a certain way and we see these sort of quote unquote mean girls. Yeah. And to get a look into what it is that makes them that way is cool.
We get to see a sort of softer side of Cressida as well. And I do think Eloise kind of needs to learn how to listen. And she has to in Cressida. She's been very, very privileged with having Penelope just constantly listening to her. As then Eloise drags her out of rooms.
It was such a good story this season.
I do, yeah.
So good.
It's pretty great. Thank you, Jess and Shonda.
How is Penelope ever going to tell everyone about being Lady Whistledown? Are you anxious? I'm anxious, from Sally, InStyle's editor-in-chief. I've been anxious about it since season 1. It didn't go well with Eloise. Whenever anyone finds out, it's not like, oh my god, you are? That's slay, girl. In season 1, she kept those two identities of Pen is here, Lady Whistledown is here, and never the twain shall meet, we're good. In season 2, I think, then she was like, I'm still really shy, but also I'm like weirdly slightly arrogant because I'm like quite famous and no one knows I'm famous. And then in season 3, I think she realizes they're coming closer and closer together as time goes on. And she kind of gets that she can no longer just totally separate herself, especially because Eloise knows. And Eloise is going to be like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Let's see. Not enough cane.
Not enough cane.
In the book, Lady Danbury is always using her cane to poke people and swing around and make her points. There is a severe lack of cane-related shenanigans in the show. It gets used sometimes to make a point. It's been used to bar people's way and to cajole them along, but I don't think she's going to be wafting it about as severely as she does in the book.
I don't know, a bit of pokery.
Because frankly, if you let me do a bit of pokery and wafting, somebody's going to end up
With an eye out.
Yeah, no,
With an eye out.
So let's have it.
Let's have it.
I am firmly team Cressida Redemption arc.
Woo!
I just love complex women and female characters getting the same opportunity as men.
Yes!
Hell yeah! I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes.
There's no filler characters with this show and anything on like Shondaland. There's always going to be an
complex
exploration
and you could see it brewing even in the first 2
100%.
seasons. You could see that there were
Pain.
like pain. You could see the pain. But also, let's be real, she's not just been like this since the marriage mark. There's something in there that's kind of made her that way.
Jess was saying that you guys have assumed that it must have been something that happened like in the sand pit when
Well,
you were kids.
we do sometimes talk about it. We either say Cressida has a crush on Penelope, or that, and I think this in my head makes sense, is that Pen and Eloise were like really obnoxious children, being like, we're the smartest and we're the, and Cressida was like, can I play? We were like, no! And then that one, she was like, you're dead to me.
I like that. I love the backstory.
I think she's also been brought up to behave a certain way. I don't think it's
Absolutely.
necessarily that she thinks it's what she's doing is awful all the time. I think she's been trained that way.
If you've got that coming at you at home and you can't give that back to your parents, especially in that day and age, where do you take that energy? To your peers.
To your peers.
You know, well, you don't, but you don't do that. She isn't necessarily husband hungry herself, but her parents sure are for her. And the treatment in that house is not the best.
Just need to be adopted by the Bridgertons.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? Spoiler!
Could Penelope be picked by the Queen?
Ooh.
They did say she is looking for something new. There's a little scene in the series that is a very simple scene, is it not, Adjua?
Super
Because
simple.
It is between you and me within a ball. And we are up on the balcony and Penelope Featherington makes her way through the crowd. And the Queen says, "Who dat?"
Who that there?
And you explain, that's
I say,
Penelope Featherington.
It's Penelope Featherington.
And I think that's a beautiful, simple moment of the Queen and Penelope coming into each other's spheres without each other's knowing really what's going on.
There is a quality that Penelope has of being the person who is invisible but always watchful, that I think Lady Danbury appreciates, that she sees that in her family, she is not of that family. She's had to make herself her own unique creation. So I think Lady Danbury loves a woman who goes out and shapes her own destiny, which is what Penelope does, and so she'll always be cheering for Penelope.
Oh, this is going to be tricky. What about Penelope and Eloise's feud? I imagine Eloise won't want Colin near Pen now. From user T Judge's Girl on YouTube.
I don't think she'd want him near her, and even before they fell out, I think that would really
It just
gross
grossed her out. It's just grossing her out. Also, I think sometimes it's like, if one thing's happened, it's sort of like, oh, and you want to bonk my brother.
Yeah.
I think it's like, and another one.
She's not seeking a husband in you, I hope.
No, I'm only helping her find one.
Since when are you worried about Penelope?
I don't think she's best pleased. But there is a parallel universe where she could have been like, I'm so proud of you for being Lady Whistledown. And like, oh my God, we get to be sisters.
Yeah, Penn just handled it horrifically badly.
Okay. This small clip says so much about Lady Bridgerton's character development in such tiny but important ways. Violet's reaction to her son's happiness, overjoyed that he is happy but maybe a hint of loneliness for herself.
Oh.
Question mark.
Having married off 2 of her children and marriages that are very happy marriages, it's like having a mirror held in front of her to see that Edmund has left a huge hole in her life and that her loneliness has somehow increased. So I think that tentative step back in that direction and embracing life and finding some kind of companion might be somewhat on the cards.
My husband and I had a garden, a luscious garden with many varieties of flowers. And when he died, the garden died. And I did not even think of the garden. I did not want the garden. But lately, without warning, the garden has begun to bloom.
Do we think we will see more of Violet's garden blooming? Will there be potential suitors? She's certainly in the garden at the moment, and she's sort of rummaging around and sort of...
There's fresh compost on, I
There's a
think.
lot of
It's been
compost
dug in,
The
ready.
bulbs have been planted. Let's
Yes.
see what comes up.
Now then. Can we get Lady Danbury a hot love interest who will worship the ground upon which she walks? Yes, please, can we?
Okay. Oh, Nicola recently said she is on Team Philip and called him Eloise's love interest. What can we expect in a love interest for Eloise from user Daisy and Bella on Reddit?
They asked me this on live television, and with no context
Pressure.
said, are you Team Philip or Team Theo? And I was on a show that centered around like Bravo reality shows, and I was like, I don't think I've seen whatever that show is. I was like, is it like Summer House? I don't watch that. And I was like, oh, Bridgerton, oh, Eloise. I was like, Philip, I guess.
So I get a lot of questions like, I want to see Eloise like do her thing. I know that, you know, she doesn't want romance, she doesn't want love or whatever. And I think because Eloise is so stoic and she's sort of quite defiant in what she wants, that means she is anti-love. Obviously, what I think is nice is that in season 2 we proved that that's not a thing. Just took a certain type of person. I just think all she wants is the choice to just be like, I'll just do it.
That is such a good way to say it.
Outside of the like sort of ritual of having a dance and meeting a fella sort of thing.
Yeah.
Having a dance.
Meeting a fella. Having a dance, meeting a fella. That's going to be my highlight.
Yeah.
OMG, Penelope's dress is in line with the Bridgerton colours. No more pink and yellow for our girl. They are so damn cute together. From Pandy Girl on YouTube. Aww.
I might say something like that if you were a suitor.
Well, that was rather direct.
It's a huge transformational season for Penelope, and I think what I really love about how they've written it is that she has this aesthetic transformation in episode 1, but you realise pretty instantly that she's not done any inner work. So she thinks, well, I will put on this dress and then I will become confident and I will find a husband immediately. And you're like, I don't think, maybe that won't happen.
It's from my mum. Okay, I am just excited to actually see Francesca. Who is she? What does she like to do? How does she feel about the marriage market? What are her sibling relationships like? We'll finally get to learn things about her. She's such a good character.
She is.
I mean, all of the characters are, but when I got the part and I read that book and found out that that was a story that I was going to have to tell, I'm like, oh my God, I can't even be entrusted with this. It's kind of like life imitating art sometimes, in the sense that I was new to the cast and she was new to the environment that she was going into, and she's kind of observing everybody and working out what to do, and I was observing everybody and working out what to do. I definitely felt like the overwhelm that Francesca felt. So there's probably days that I wasn't really acting. I was just absolutely fighting for my life on that set.
Ooh, blimey.
It was a long one.
Good lordy.
Oh, get my knitting out.
Ruth Gemmell truly captivates with her nuanced performance as Violet.
Here.
Her proud smile speaks volumes, yet there is a discernible undercurrent of concern, possibly for Francesca. It's these layered expressions that make Gemmell's portrayal so profound. Did anyone else notice this? Thank you very
We
much.
noticed it.
We notice it every single time.
Day.
I have no children, but I understand pride and I understand concern, and I think it's something that we can all identify with.
It's very human what you do. It's really truthful
Beautiful.
and human. It's perfect.
And here's my fan mail to you. I just realised my name was on it.
Yeah, they're on all of them.
Oh, wow, okay.
Claudia.
Sorry, late to the game, thank you. Okay, wowza. I keep thinking Eloise could find a lot of happiness marrying a college professor. She'd be surrounded by academics. She could host a ton of dinners and soirees with other college professors and talk about the role of women in society or just soak up all the knowledge around her. Radicalise the faculty wives.
Wow.
That's the name of our next album. Read her way through the college library, debate issues constantly. I mean, it's not a question. I think what you've done here is given the writer's room something to bloody think about, and I'm grateful.
Okay. What do you think a modern-day Penelope Featherington would wear? Ooh, at Lucy's Bridgerton on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. That's a dumb name. Sorry, no one calls it that. She would wear something really soft and romantic. Then there's a lot of like beautiful Prada. That's that really ethereal, beautiful, flowy stuff as well. I'm assuming she's got a budget, actually. She does. She's rich. I'm fine.
Yeah, Eloise will help her out as well. With that dowry.
The Bridgertons are loaded. They're fine. Yeah. We're going to Prada.
I hope you enjoyed opening fan mail with us.
And thank you for sending it in.
Now go and watch Bridgerton Season 3 streaming only on Netflix.
Lovely.
Thank you, my loves.
We can do this.
We can open the box.
Yeah, 8 months of Bridgerton. We can open the
Open the
box.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah, letters. Beautiful. Why are we like on The Price is Right? Like
Just a rabbit. No, not the rabbit. Somebody get the rabbit.